Look at us, ready for another edition of The Big Show. It is Barn Burner with Boomer and Retro and Pinder. Good to have you along here as we're getting close to the long weekend. We're nearing the end of the preseason. Hockey's around the corner. Thursday night football tonight. Baseball for some is over.
For everyone, like wild card's done. Where's our climatic do or die game 3 today?
That's right. Yeah.
None.
Yeah. No, none.
Brutal. Stupid fall ball. It's dumb.
Is it dumb?
Fun. It's no fun. Terrible.
Yesterday, there was a lot of dumb. A lot of dumb.
There's Eric. Eric's in already on the chat. Pop the champagne.
They were doing a lot of that. Phillies were hosing each other down.
I mean, it was pretty easy, observation to make. The Blue Jays, we talked about it yesterday or the day before. Oh, you're popping that champagne for getting into the playoffs. And then
it wasn't even that. It was that they lost, clinched when they were in their beds at night, came in, lost the next day, and then celebrated. It was
it's part of it for sure.
Incredibly stupid, not just the normal amount of celebrating stupid.
Yeah. How do you feel?
It's frustrating. It's a talented roster that never seemed to get to a spot where you thought it should based on the players you had. Vlad had one of the most mediocre seasons you could ever imagine from a guy that started his career the way he did.
Jack, can you bring up, can we see Bo, the Bo Bichette? I feel like it's become it. You know what?
Run on this, eh?
You know what it is for me now? It's the crying Jordan meme.
It kind of is, yeah.
It's kind of the I've lost, failure, sadness.
Tired Bo. Tired Bichette.
Yeah, Bichette's tired. He's got nothing left.
Yeah.
Controversy. He took the picture out. What do you picked up?
Look, this was a really good roster that just absolutely couldn't deliver when it mattered all year. The way they went out was what it looked like all year. This wasn't like a flop. This is who they are. It's a shame. If you have a normal Matt Chapman season, if you have a normal, Vlad season with that pitching staff, the sky's the limit. But it was a down year for a lot of those batters. They could not
hit right? Because that
run in 2 games. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. You're not going to win many ball games that way.
No, and then they make the dumb pitching change, which is like now everyone's going to be yelling for heads and already are yelling for heads to roll in the front office because we know that's not just the manager.
Analytics, nerds.
Yeah, the problem is there wasn't analytics. It's bad analytics. There was lots of data out there saying this guy's fucking dealing right now, right? That's me.
I
went to the Donaldson jersey yesterday. Same vibes. Tired.
Oh, no. Very tired.
So tired.
So tired.
That was after the 9-0 blown lead against Seattle last year. Yeah. And that was at about 1 a.m.
Sports is so stupid.
Holding up the bar.
Hey? Sports is so dumb.
So dumb.
We love it,
you know
though.
What? It's the ride.
Yeah. We love it.
The 29 teams hate their bleeping team and it ends horribly. If you're ever that one, God damn it, you can party for a week.
Well, the Rays are out. So that's good.
Yes. I mean, if anyone had a worse 2 days than the Jays, it's not many, but the Rays would be one. 2 worst crowds in the last 100 years and just destroyed in both contests.
Retro, how do you feel about it? I know you're a big Jays backer.
Huge.
I wanted to get into it, but I didn't. I told you early on when they're not performing, I said, well, don't perform. I won't watch then.
It's a tough group to like this year. It really was. Like 89 wins, and you lost your opening day starter who was a Cy Young candidate. Like you could tell me that those. I'm like, wow, that must have been a good year. No, it was fucking miserable. Right? Like there's Manoah. That's another, like, what?
I was going to say, do we know where he is? Or is it just kind of.
Yeah, he's lawyering up with his agent about service time crap. I mean, he's fighting with the Jays. It might be a thing. Manoah might be past tense. It's crazy. What a bad year.
Like a year ago, he was very late.
Cy Young votes.
What about Dalton Pompey?
Dalton has hung up his cleats.
Oh, he's really Canadian.
Quite some time.
Yeah.
God, we need
they didn't get Schneider in at bat. We didn't get to see Cam Eden pinch run and be the Dalton Pompey.
Not ideal. Yeah.
A lot of chatter on the group chat too about this.
Yes.
The fence is taken, I feel. Some poor opinions.
See, that's what it is. Everybody wants their team to make it, but then when your team loses, everybody likes to pile on you.
Yeah, and it's like, look, that was a miserable, disappointing season, but some were suggesting like this is an embarrassment. It's like, well, no, like the Padres is embarrassing. The Mets is embarrassing. You spend more like this sucked, but this wasn't the worst season in baseball this year.
Are you concerned with these big hitters of the Jays?
They don't have any. Who are you talking about? Who hit more than 25 home runs? Not a single guy.
But
you're right. That's the problem. That is the problem.
You're stepping on your own toes there with your comment prior to that.
I'm being facetious, but that's the issue. They didn't have any big hitters. One guy got to 25 home runs, and it's a guy that a lot of people were like, he might get 40 this year. They didn't have home runs, and in this sport, I know like your old school guys love bunting and moving runners over and stuff, but like home runs win games. The Minnesota Twins got all but 2 of the runs via the home run in the series. 3 of 5. The Jays had 0 home runs. They need some pop. They have no power.
But for those go ahead.
I was just going to say, for those of you that were wondering what our chat group looked like, this is what it is, where you could just kind of poke Pinder. Geez, I thought guess they don't like hitting home runs. And then Pinder goes, oh yeah, but that's what the chat group was yesterday. Oh, these guys suck. And then Pinder's finding stats and numbers and data. It's like
incredibly disappointing year. No sugarcoating it. They wasted one of the best rotations and bullpens they've ever had. Like really.
Well, do you know what did you see the Padres payroll? Do you have any idea what kind of
Well, and it's like in the aftermath is when you get your hottest of hot takes. Like, trade Vlad. And you're like, okay, so Vlad's value's never been lower. He's a free agent in 2 years. He has like prodigious power. His father's You really think trading Vlad's going to make you better? Or are you just angry?
Do you believe he's going to be what he's supposed to be? Like this guy's supposed to be one of the top 5 stars in the league, is he not?
Yeah, but even if he's a top 20 guy, he's worlds better than he was this year. This is your sell low. It's like trading Markstrom last summer.
Okay,
but it's as bad as he's been.
I get it. I'm not saying trade him. My
it was just
more. Is he good? To me, it's a Markstrom. Such a scenario. Is he good or is he not?
Yeah, like Vlad will be better next year, but is he a superstar anymore? That's a really valid question. I don't know the answer. 25 home runs and hitting like 250, that ain't it.
Yeah, the 250 is a killer, right? Because wasn't he supposed to have one of the best eyes at the plate? And
bad at bats, like late on fastballs. Like he just had an awful year at the plate.
It was not a good couple days.
No. And they went out the way that, they were snake bitten all year with an inability to cash in runners, no long balls, and wasting great pitching efforts.
And then some mistakes on the base paths, and then the coach's decision to take the pitcher out.
He wasn't the coach.
I get why, there's a lot of. So who's called? You don't think who makes that call? Not Schneider?
Oh God, that's a pregame decision. Anyone watching that game doesn't think it's time to take him out.
Yeah.
Like that is a front office philosophy, and they're trying to turn a lineup that's got a bunch of lefties over when Kikuchi comes in, but they would completely ignore what matters most, which is like, how's your starter looking? Maybe as good as he looked all year.
Mm-hmm. So whose head's going to roll?
I think you have a sacrificial lamb in John Schneider, but I think the decision was not his. It was the front office's. So if they want a fresh slate of sorts, they gun the manager, you bring in someone a little more seasoned, and the front office, now the heat's on them, where it should be, to be fair.
Wasn't John Schneider Bo Duke? Tom Wopat was Luke Duke, right?
Is he one of the twins, or are they brothers? What was
brothers or cousins? Cousins, I think. I think John Schneider was Bo Duke. Just a good old boy.
I just want John Gibbons back.
Never mean him no harm.
What was he, the sheriff or something? I don't know.
No, I'm not sure.
Gibby.
Well, anyway, moving on. Lots to get to today. We got a busy show for you. We're gonna have a special guest joining us. Just one of those guys. He's a beauty. He's Darcy Hordichuk. Kind of a circuitous route for us to get from where we are to bringing Darcy Hordichuk on the show. I don't know that it matters. Either way, good guy coming on the show. We'll shoot the shit with him. And I went down the old YouTube rabbit hole today.
Oh man.
Went down the old rabbit hole retro. Oh boy.
Fearless.
Him and Mel Engelstad, maybe numero uno all time.
We'll see it. Yeah, it's one of the most amazing face punching contests you will ever see in your life. So much so that they did it twice. I can't imagine getting into a scrap like that. And then we should go again, eh? It's a special person. It's a special breed of person. So we'll talk to Hordichuk coming up to Ask Rhett, the first Ask Rhett of the fall, of the new season. Some good questions rolling in. A lot of them will get you ready. I know you like to just kind of spur of the moment. You like to be off the top of your head. Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving weekend. A lot of people thinking about, because everyone knows you love the food. You love being in the kitchen. So they have some culinary questions coming up. Presentation of Bonton. This day in Flames history for McLeod Law is coming up in a little bit. We'll do the Pinder Report. But it's kind of, it's not subtle. But I see you guys have matching headgear. Out of thin air. A beer fridge has popped up. Thank you, Rhett. That's very good. Yeah. Has popped up over the shoulder of Ryan Pinder.
It's a dangerous spot for a beer fridge. It should be shaken.
So is it working? Are
today?
Yeah. Are they cold? Are they cold in there? Or is that just a prop?
This is the Mexican Lagardine, and it is ice cold. We're talking like 1 degree. Oh.
We would like to welcome one of our newest sponsors and beyond partners. One of our new partners, Origin Brewing, the official craft beer of Barn Burner. Malting and Brewing Company. They are good folk. They are out in Strathmore, and I don't want to make it sound, we were besieged with offers and this sort of thing. But we wanted to have a beer partner. We're branching out. We're getting more and more partners on board. And well, what do we want in a beer partner? You kind of get into it. And there's a very cool story behind this group. And it became clear to us pretty quickly that these are guys / people's, the family that we want to work with. They are, we went and visited the farm, I'm trying to remember, a couple months ago, I guess. Retro, you were in town for that.
June, July-ish.
Yeah.
Was that pre-Stampede? God, it was a while ago.
Yeah, it was.
It's the Hilton family out in Strathmore. 5 generations. A 5th generation family farm. They've been growing, among other things, but certainly the highest quality barley in the world for over 40 years. And that sounds like an overstatement, but some of the best barley is grown in Alberta, and specifically in that little pocket there. Alberta malt barley recognizes the world's best. Origin malting provides traceability. So here's what it is. They have the farm. They plant it. They harvest it. They malt it. Then they brew it. Then they sell it to you in beer form. From start to finish, it's their little farm. And they've been doing it for a while, and they're doing it better than just about everybody. Chances are, if you're having a craft beer of some other kinds, other local breweries, chances are they have gotten their malt barley from Origin.
Yes.
They are, they're one of only 2. I think there's 2 maybe in all of Canada who go from start to finish. Their farm, they grow it, they harvest it, they malt it, and then take it to their brewery and get it done. Let's take a look. Here was our visit. We went out to, it's not that far, as it turns out.
No.
It was a beautiful day out in Strathmore, the Hilton family farm. Sterling was there and Spencer was there, and they kind of gave us the grand tour.
Look at those pieces.
The thing that, the number one thing that I took away from it was just how proud they are, not only of what they're doing, but how much quality and concern they put into the sustainability of the soil and keeping things so they can, year after year, that the soil is becoming more productive. It's becoming healthier, not the other way around. There's the tap room. It's located just inside of town, a couple minutes away from the farm.
If you go through Strathmore, you got to.
They've got the malting and the brewery all under one roof. And there you see it. That's the malt barley that these other places are buying to make their beer, whereas these guys, and that's the thing, they take the best of the best. No, look.
How happy am I?
Yeah, how happy are you? Yeah, with this donkey. But we're happy to partner with these guys, Origin Malting and Brewing, Sterling and Spencer, and everybody over at the brewery and the tap room and everything. We are pumped to be hooking up with you guys. They have. Would you like a rundown of the roster?
I'm quite familiar, but I'd love to hear it again.
We've got a homegrown lager. That's you're a beer drinker. You're just like, no messing around. Just give me a beer.
Right
gonna
down
like
Main
that.
Street, Dino. Right down Main Street.
The homegrown lager is going to be for you. They then got the Pioneer IPA, the Long Days IPA. That's the hazy IPA. A Rockyford Raspberry. You had it there. It was the Mexican lager.
Love this. This is your summer. Like, let's crush a pallet of them. This is amazing hot weather beer.
Like that's what's in the mug right in front of you right there. The Prickly Pear Guava Gosa, the Last Post Brown Ale, and the Backdraft Red Ale. And they spin other, specialty ones. They got a lot on the go, but those are the ones that you can count on. So when you go out, we can't say enough, wherever you're getting your beers, search out the Origin brand. If they don't have it, ask for it. You're going to want it in there.
Origin? You're talking about one of the best microbreweries in Alberta. Let's get it in here. Your reputable liquor store or no?
You go to a restaurant. Hey, do you have any Origin on tap? I know that merchants across the street from where we are, they've got it on tap. A lot of places are getting it in. They are very proud of what they're doing, and they should be, and they're looking to get bigger and stronger. And we're hoping to be a little small part of that as we move forward.
You start with good inputs, like good people, good barley, good malt. Like you're just so far ahead of everyone else. Totally vertically integrated brewery. And the great news, they are now on tap at our home rink for
there you go.
So we're going to move some kegs of Mexican lager if my coaching staff has anything to do with it.
Did you have anything to do with that? Or is that
I did not, but I was thrilled to hear it. Like near backflip. It was very exciting.
Check them out online. Go to the tap room. Buy the product. We are going to be doing a lot with Origin moving forward. So happy to have all of them. They actually, Sterling and some of the people, they showed up at the horse races when we were out at Century Downs on the weekend. And Mark was there.
Yes.
Now that was mid-afternoon, like 2, 3 in the afternoon.
That's right.
Mark hadn't been home yet from the night before.
Are you serious? Come on now.
Yeah.
It's the way to battle through, Mark.
Well, attaboy, Mark.
Oh,
just
proud of you,
kids
boy.
are like in their 20s. What's he doing here?
Just put it right to the floor. Origin Malting and Brewing. Good to have them on board. Love it. You mentioned, Rhett, earlier about a certain scrap that is, and this guy will have seen that. I'm guessing he's seen it a million times. He's probably had guys come up in bars and say, hey, I saw the... If you've never, get a load of this. Maybe the greatest hockey fight you will ever see.
Come on.
Mel Engelstad, who I saw for the first time. I saw for the first time when I was going to college in Thunder Bay. He was playing for the Colonial League team there. Just a monster.
Colonial League.
Monster. You can go ahead and play it, Jack. But he was a heavyweight. Just one of the toughest dudes you'll ever see.
Oh my God.
And here he gets tangled up with Darcy Hordichuk. Camp Sack, Saskatchewan's Darcy Hordichuk. And look at these two go. You can
lawnmower. Look at this.
You can turn the volume up. I'll let it go here so you can listen.
They both have gotten in good punches. Mel Engelstad and the Solar Bears, Darcy Hordichuk still going at it toe-to-toe. Lefts and rights. Hordichuk trying to get in that last left hand. He's a southpaw. As over the top comes Mel Engelstad with what appears to be...
Holy goodness.
Just...
no regard for human life.
Yeah. And like I said, so nice, such a great, they did it again. They decided, that was good times, eh? Did you have fun? Oh, me too. We should do it again. Next, we'll go to Winnipeg. When we're in Winnipeg, let's do it again. Here was part 2 of this scrap, and it didn't let down.
Will they throw the lumber like they did down Orlando in the season opener? And yes, they are. Both firing right hand. Engelstad, right uppercut. Oh, he landed another one. Hordichuk comes back now. Trying to throw the left hand. Engelstad blocked the left hand. Now switches up. Hordichuk comes back. He throws a couple of right hands and they land. Engelstad another right hand. Hordichuk comes back at him again. They're still battling now.
Good Lord.
And look at the end here. Little tap in the head. Hey, there you go. One of the all-time Saskatoon Blades great, former National Hockey Leaguer, and you hear in hockey, oh, guy's a beauty.
Yeah,
this guy is a certified beauty. He's Darcy Hordichuk joining us here on the show today. Darcy, good to see you, man. How's everything going?
Boys, I've heard about the podcast for a long time. Excited to be on it, and what a small world that my brother-in-law connected me with you guys, and yeah, I got a little PTSD watching that.
I was gonna say, dude.
Fighter. Everybody's like, you miss hockey, and I'm like, nope, don't miss getting punched one bit.
Do you know Mel?
I did not know Mel from anywhere. Had I known who he was, I probably wouldn't have dropped the gloves. But I'll give you the quick 5-minute version. Used to fighting for the Blades. You know, Rhett, you know the whole story. Yep. Guys, you're fighting 16 to 20 years old. You know, you hit these guys a few good ones. Most guys drop. It's my first game, and all the brass is there from the Thrashers. So I'm like just doing what I do with the Blades, just running around with my head cut off, no puck on the ice. And Jimmy Roy comes up to me, slashes me behind, and this small guy, you know, and he's like, let's go. And I'm like, dude, just send out your toughest guy, and I'll fight the toughest guy. I'm not fighting you. I'm not fighting you. Like, the whole team's trying to fight me, right? Literally, like, Manitoba Moose, my first time. I'm with the Orlando Solar Bears. And then next thing you know, I basically see this guy. His nose is across his face. He's using the boards to get to me, and I'm like, I'm done. And after that fight, like, I couldn't even tie my skates. Like, my hands were so mangled. And the guys were laughing. They're like, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this the rest of my life. Like, here I am making what, $15 in that game, and my buddies from back home in Saskatchewan, they're like, you got to fight him again. Like, you got to fight him again. 2 weeks later, I'm like, okay. But he prepared me for what was kind of my future. And after that, you know, all the management came down from the Thrashers, and they're like, kid, like, don't feel bad on that first one. Like, most guys won't even fight him, but you definitely hung in there. And so, yeah, that was kind of my welcoming to the life as a pro player.
Well, you know what that is? That's like, you know, I'm maybe going to take up jogging, maybe get a pair of shoes, and then entering an Ironman. Like, that's going right to you. Like, you went way too far too soon. But you know what? You did well, and you hung in there. Do people still? Obviously, we brought it up. I'm guessing still people have to bring that one up to you a lot.
It's hysterical. I think it was just on what Shane O'Brien's podcast. Yeah. So I'm in this football chat, and I think it just went on his podcast, and all the boys in the group chat, they're like, holy crap, Hordy, was this you over here? And I'm like, I don't know. It's like an out-of-body experience, because I, looking back, I mean, yeah, it's definitely a crazy journey that I was on. But
yeah, Darcy, I'll give you $100 I owe you. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'll pay that up right away. Sorry, sir.
Well, that's why I tell my kid, I'm like, Braden, stick handle with your head up, because my parents forgot to teach me, listen, you know, you can use the old dog collar now for these, you know, 5 to 8 year olds. And unfortunately, my parents didn't buy me that. So I kind of had to fight to stay in the league, find a way. So
you got a lot going on. I understand you're just up the road in Red Deer.
I'm in Red Deer. I'm just sitting in the Red Deer Resort Casino. We got a 14U hockey tournament. So never thought I'd be playing, watching my kid play hockey in Red Deer. But I guess there's some good teams up here, and we're excited to see what the Canadians hold for hockey.
We've all had, my kids are a little bit older. They've been through the hockey thing. Rhett's are right into the teeth of it right now. And Ryan's got 2 going in. I don't even know. You can't call it Pee-wee or
U9, baby,
whatever it is. So we've all been there. Do the juices get flowing a little bit for Dad when you're watching the game? Because we've had some fun with Rhett. Rhett's maybe been tossed out of a rink once or twice behind the bench. It's maybe happened once or twice. But do you get
that? I can see that. I think Rhett, don't you have an 09? You have the same. Yeah. He's supposed to be a good little player. Yeah, it's such a fun small world. Yeah.
Good little player.
We were supposed to come up to that tournament in Red Deer, but I'm in Buffalo, and the parents were like, it's a little far to go. I'm like, I really wanted to drag him out, but I got over. I got out.
Here's the funny story. This is me kind of living through my kid. So there's this kind of like this scrum, this kind of bigger kid. You know, my son played a year up last year. And I'm like, Braden, you got to set the tone. Like, if somebody's kind of being the, you know, tough guy out there, you're like a stock. The more you can bring to the table, you know, the more value. The scouts are going to watch it. So he absolutely just throws a bomb and hits this guy. And he sends it on our family group chat. He kind of skates away. And my brother-in-law, Mark's like, oh, my God, look at this kid. Gutless. Who is this kid? And my kid thinks he's so tough because he just, like, almost dropped the guy. And this guy 2 hands him in the back of the leg. And my son acts like nothing happened. He just skated away. And I'm like, if you ever skate away from a guy after you punch him. So now it's like, It's war. It's like as soon as he throws that bomb, he knows he doesn't skate away and try to put it on the family chat, not get chirped. So
It's tough company. It's a bit of a
I was going
different
to tell
game.
you, it's tough being a kid. Do I skate away? Do I break a stick over his? I don't know what to do, Dad. I don't know what to do. But it is awesome. I know when my kids are playing and Rhett's right into it. I got more out of watching my boys play than I did out of watching NHL hockey. I look more forward to the kids' hockey games than anything else.
It's the best. It's so fun. The parents are crazy, right? Like they think everybody in Arizona is Austin Matthews, and if they use the same trainer, but that's expected. But besides some of the parents, sometimes, but it's great. It's a fun journey. You're from Roblin, right? I was talking to somebody.
Yeah.
God, some of the best hockey players. I don't know if you remember the name Ryan Chase.
Oh yeah.
The Carriers, like all these guys were some big draft picks, and I remember Roblin would always kind of dominate us when we played.
Well, it's funny. I mean, the Saskatoon Blades kind of just follow their way through. Sean Yakimishin is from Roblin. He was tough bastard, played for the Blades, and then Warner played for the Blades. You played for the Blades. Yeah. Connection.
No, Pinder, where did you play? What are you doing over there?
Oh, I wasn't that good. I was like the last kid on earth to hit puberty and was afraid of dying. I would have peed down my leg if I got past midget. So I 1 year midget, I was good.
You were the smartest out of all of us. Shit.
What are the rules? You have parent rules? Don't talk to me, or you open? Go ahead, talk to me.
You know what? I don't even coach no more. You know, I just kind of stayed away. I stepped away actually the last couple of years. But you know how it is. It gets pretty heated. But yeah, you got to put that 24-hour rule in there. And you know how it is at this level. Now all of a sudden it's getting a little bit more serious. So everybody that thought Johnny was going to make the NHL 2 years ago when he had 8 goals isn't scoring as much. So it's confusing for parents. But as you know, it's a grind. It's kind of like the last one standing in this sport, and you just got to work through it. But that's what makes it fun, right? The cream rises to the top.
So you hooked up. Again, you talk about how it came to be. Your brother-in-law was one of our contest winners from last Christmas. We went out and had dinner and drinks with him and hung out for a little bit. And then we got connected with you. Another guy he's a listener of the show, or a watcher, I guess now. You guys hooked up in Melbourne, Australia, of all things. They're lost. But yeah, our buddy Aussie Brad. You connected with him when you were in Melbourne with the Coyotes trip.
This is such a small world how this all took place. Like, I didn't even know you guys had a podcast. I'm doing charity events with Rhett in like Nashville. I didn't know that this all existed. My brother-in-law played me that clip where you guys ripped on him. Like, I didn't even know my brother-in-law is this big of a hockey fan either, by the way. So he plays this clip where I guess he buys the charity dinner with you guys.
Yeah.
And he keeps harassing you guys like 4 days later. And then he plays this clip where you just rip on him. You're like, dude, you don't think we have anything better to do than do this dinner? And then he just kind of always send me some clips. He's like, you got to see this Aussie Brad guy. And then I'm like, Mark, the Coyotes want me to go, be their ambassador for, Australia. And he's like, there's no way they're picking you. And I'm like, I don't know how this works. Obviously, Doan didn't want to go. And they went down the list and nobody wanted to fly 17 hours. And so me and Dustin Brown went down that first time and kind of promoted hockey and just fell in love with it. And they said, hey, listen, we want you to come back. The promoters want to see you. And next thing you know, I remember Aussie Brad, he played that clip where he's on there. And I said, we got to meet this guy. And so I'm in the arena, I'm texting him, and I'm like, there's not one person in the arena wearing a Flames jersey or a Flames hat. So, that should make it easy. And here he is, like, this guy just lit up the room, and it's like we hugged each other, like we knew each other for 10 years. He's like, hey, man, and it was like that whole circle. I go, I don't think you guys know that, Aussie Brad is this famous in Calgary, and all of his friends, like, are looking at me like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But no, you guys have put him on the map, and he's a passionate dude that you always look back in your life and you're like, how did this guy become a Flames fan? So somewhere along the way something stuck in his head, and I was kind of picking on him. I'm like, listen, there's 4 other guys wearing Oiler things. I think you should just for the next couple of years hop on this bandwagon because the Flames might be a little bit away from winning. And he's like, no, mate, I got this. They're good. They're gonna be. So
How was hockey received down there? Like, it was a big deal. People were pumped.
Rhett, it was the craziest experience. We sold 24,000 tickets in 2 days, just when they announced it. Yeah. And then when we got there, it was absolutely sold out. So here's the funny story people don't realize. So I'm kind of hanging out with Bill Armstrong and his wife Kyla, and we're getting ready to go for lunch. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh my God. Like the ice is cracking. Well, when they put the rink in, they didn't reinforce the bottom of it enough. Oh. It was 3 feet off the Ron Laver Arena. And all the people in Australia were trying to help the NHL. And they're like, listen, we're the NHL. We do all these outdoor games. What they didn't realize is in the water in Australia, there's not enough iron in the water. So here they are saying, cancel practice. All the Coyotes players have to go to this at their practice facility. They're all like, in juniors where you walk over with your equipment on. They're pissed off that they have to go to another arena. And it was a little bit scary there. They, it happened the day before. And you're like, well, why the hell did they not figure this out 8 days before? The shipping containers that went down had a spider on them. So they quarantined all the stuff that was coming. And you know how crazy, if you have a banana in Australia, Pinder, you could probably tell these guys, it's like a $500 fine. You're probably going to do 15 years in jail. Like, it's just crazy. So imagine a spider showing up in Australia from the US. It was like quarantine. I don't care if you guys are Wayne Gretzky trying to play. You guys are not playing. This thing is getting, so it was crazy how we even pulled it off. But the fans were passionate. They didn't know when to cheer, when not to cheer. We actually got one wave out of them. We all did the old woo. So it was a cool experience.
I feel like hockey would be an Aussie sport. I've been
slam dunk.
I've been there a couple times. I feel like they would absolutely get behind it.
Oh man, they're so passionate. Like, they love their coffee and they love sports. Like, I feel like if you would put a pickleball tournament, they would sell 100,000 tickets. Like, it's just that kind of a culture, and they remind me a lot of the Canadians. Everybody's so friendly. And we actually went to Collingwood, the playoff game. And it was kind of, I still have goosebumps. I have a video that I'll send you guys, but it's the big, there's one American player on that team from Texas, 6'9", and he makes that in the, a field goal, and the whole arena starts chanting USA. It was one of the coolest experiences. Like, my promoter that I helped put all the events, he's like, I don't know how many tickets I could get. I'm like, we got to get the players. Like, he's like, I got 50, but I can't get any. Like, it is so crazy down there. Like, the promoter that puts on the event couldn't get tickets because he gave them all to us, so.
Yeah. That was the grand final. So that's AFL. It's Aussie Rules Football. We had Aussie Brad on here moaning about the see you next Tuesdays from Collingwood or whatever. They actually, I think, won the whole thing against the team from Brisbane. But they love sport and physical sport, like like rugby, AFL. These are really, really high contact, high paced sports. So when they see hockey, they're like, this is amazing. And you can punch someone in the face. Like, I'm in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So if you look at the fight, we had that stage before the game even happened. Drew Doughty was calling his tough guy. We were all like, listen, we got to start off this thing with a fight, because how it is. Just like, you don't know. And here I am hyping up every video of me promoting is, they're like, Darcy, they're not going to really want to talk about fighting. And I'm sitting there watching, like, how they're the whole panel of people. And all of a sudden it just has me every clip teeing off on guys. And I'm looking because the NHL is like, please don't talk about fighting too much. Please don't. I'm like, okay, well then you should have sent me down here because that's all I know,
Yeah, but, you know who I am, right? Like,
yeah.
Just show the power play goal highlight reel, right? So that exactly. One must be 10 minutes.
No, yeah, they got their fight, so that I promised them anyway. So I felt like I did my part.
So now my understanding is, and again, a little, we got our connections. You're like the king of Scottsdale. That's what I'm told. It's like, it's impressive. Wherever you need to be. You need a restaurant reservation. You need hotels, whatever you need. Darcy Hordichuk's the man.
You know what? It's funny. Like, I never thought I'd play in the NHL. So every day I was like, I just hustled, right? You know it is. Like, people laugh. Like, when I was playing for the Blades, we drove to Portland, Oregon, and I bought these Bostic acoustic speakers that I was going to bring back and flip. Little did I know it was a scam, and I got ripped up. So then I took them to the pawn shop, still sold them, made money. So I just love the game, and I just love the hustle. And, I was blessed to get in this group. You know what it is when you're done playing hockey, you just miss the guys. That's all you really miss. You know what I mean? So I got involved with this group somehow. I got voted into a group called the Thunderbirds, the Phoenix Open. And there's 55 guys that are in the group. You have to be under 40 to get in. And whatever you are the best at in your trade, you get voted in all 55. And somehow I got in. The group's been around since 1937, but it's cool. Like Fitzgerald's in this group and Sam Fox that owns all the restaurants. And I was just at a dinner party. This is a funny story. I probably shouldn't tell you this, but I think the viewers will like this. So I'm at this house, and the house is, just to give you a perspective, of Campbell's Soup is next door, the founder of Campbell's Soup. So It's like a mile long of all these vehicles, and there's a whole bunch of guys that are welcoming me into the group. So I'm like, every time you go to the house, you always hug like all these 40 guys saying, welcome to the group. So there's this black Escalade up front. I'm like, I'm just going to take a piss right over here, kind of in the shrubs. I start walking down the driveway, and I go into the house, and this vehicle starts following me right to the house. And I'm like, oh, hey, you guys. I go in the house. I'm like, somebody's Uber's drivers here, and they're like, Darcy, that's Secret Service. Doug Ducey's at the party. I'm like, holy shit, I just pissed in front of this car. So, dude, the guys are laughing. I haven't been in the group 5 minutes. I'm probably going to get kicked out of this group. And I just pissed in front of Doug Ducey's Secret Service. And so it's that kind of a group where it's just a bunch of cool guys that want to give back. And I think you guys are going to do something for your viewers. I'm going to donate some 4 tickets to the Phoenix Open, to the 16th hole, which is it's a bucket list. It's one of the coolest experiences, you guys will ever have. So I don't know if you can do it caller 16 or whatever you want. But,
we'll, you know what? We'll figure something out. Maybe we have our Christmas campaign coming up, and we donate to Closer to Home and the anyway. Maybe we'll do it for that. That might be a good way to use that for sure.
Well, it's funny because I'm in charge of all the Canadians if they ever want to come to the Phoenix Open. And some of the names are pretty cool. Like I think Dave Duckett, he's a big oil and gas guy, was a part owner. So you look at all these names that, we're on the 16th hole and all these Canadians. And then Tree Living, every year when she was involved in a charity there, I'd always donate 4 tickets to her charity. So they would always come down and use one of my condos. And so I got some ties to Calgary through whether hockey or basically the Thunderbirds.
So
I mean, we're
at
kind
that event all the time, right? Like, can you paint us a picture? Like we see it on TV, that stadium hole, number 16 at the Waste Management, the Phoenix Open. Like, what does a day look like there? And now it's so big. I feel like there's different layers. Like you see people sprinting at 5 a.m. You got the boxes. Like, paint us your picture of how it's grown and how you experience it.
Yeah. So the cool thing is everybody's like, why are all those people sprinting? Well, on the 16th hole, it's a 10-year waiting list. So you can't get a ticket on the 16th hole. Like in my suite, I had Joe Burrows, I had Christian McCaffrey, like I had all these football like it's the craziest because none of these guys could get in the 16th hole. It doesn't matter who you are. There's a 10-year waiting list. Like I somehow got a suite because I went through a friend that had a suite that's been on the list for 15 years and I just buy it off of him. You know what I mean? So the cool thing is all these people come at 5 o'clock in the morning and wait. Some are there at 3 o'clock. Because there's GAs. That whole area in front is all GAs where you see all the colorful clothing. So those are free tickets. So if you can get on the course and get one of those spots, you just hope you don't have to go to the bathroom because then you got to leave and somebody else will take your spot. So you can imagine how creative these people are. So that's what gives that excitement on the 16th hole. But what people don't realize is the 17th, which is that long par 4, is just as crazy. And now it's like the 15th and now the 18th. We're expanding on the 9th hole. It's going to be like a par 3, kind of another stadium. Like, it's just such a cool experience and the vibe. And everybody's like, I don't like golf. And I'm like, I've been there for 10 years and I've watched 4 holes of golf. Like, this is so funny.
Might not be about the golf.
Oh, yeah. So Dave Portnoy was there and he was hanging out with us and he's like, holy man, boys, this is what it's about. This is golf, And every year the PGA is kind of like, hey, you guys can't do this. You can't do this. We're like the stepchild. And then all of a sudden you see Liv, where in Australia, they're throwing all the beers. Like, that's what the people want to see. That's what makes it fun. They want to see the streakers. But no, the boys do a good job trying to keep it in control. And ironically, my job is security this year. So hopefully on my watch, we don't have any streakers jumping in the water, but I'm sure we will.
Might be you jumping in the water. Who's policing you? That's the question.
Yeah, usually my wife is, but she gets worse than I do. I think she fell down the stairs, and I'm like, remember, I'm the Thunderbird of this golf tournament, not you. Like, I don't want. This is my five days to to wear the cape and enjoy life. But no, it's you know, and it's funny because I bumped into Cliff Ronning and then Kurt McLean there, and then Kelly Chase and all these guys and Ray Whitney, and then Commodore. We're all bump into each other. So as much as I could take care of the hockey guys and kind of give them a behind the scenes, I feel like that's my goal, because when I played for the Coyotes, we had no connections there. I'd always just walk around with a GA ticket, but that's what life's about, trying to give back. So
tell us a little bit more about what you are doing down there. I know obviously you got a lot of business ventures. You're obviously helping out with the Coyotes and stuff. What keeps you busy? What's on the go?
I started a fun company called Canada USA. There's a couple partners, and we just kind of wanted to help Canadians come across the border. And just like, when you get traded to a hockey team, you're like, okay, who's your real estate agent? Who's your lawyer? Who's your doctor? I just kind of came up with the same concept, and we started CanadaTOUSA.com. And we partnered up with a currency exchange company that is given probably the best rates out there. If you're ever bringing money across the border, please shop us with all the other banks. In the past, we partnered up, with the Mayo Clinics and with the RBC banks and all these big companies. And what we're realizing is, unless we have hands-on and have other Canadians helping out. So if you want to buy a property in the US, wherever it is, whether it's Florida's a big market, whether it's Texas, we just have other Canadian real estate agents, whether they're ex-hockey players or ex-people. And we just want them to have that right experience where we make it easy for them. So everybody gets intimidated coming to the US and we can't do this and we can't do this. I mean, it's one of the best decisions I ever made. I'm sure Rhett can, probably say the same thing. But it's not even about living here or moving here. It's just about just coming here and experiencing it. And, I've got a lot of vacation rentals because I got in the real estate game, and that's what it's about. Like, people don't realize they can buy a $400,000 condo and cash flow the crap out of this thing and still own it. So yeah, it all started with me buying Ryan Smith's condo in the Venue in Greyhawk. And, here it is. I bought it back in the day for $250. It's worth $650 now. And I probably cash flowed $90,000 a year. So I just want other Canadians to feel what it's like and to realize it's not as scary as you think. And
you chose Scottsdale, not Buffalo. That seems odd.
Yeah, it's hot in the summer there. What are you doing, Darcy?
Must have been a real. Where
do I go?
Yeah.
I tell my parents every day, because they're living in Saskatchewan, I go, Mom and Dad, you got to come take advantage. I said, you can't shovel sunshine. And somehow they still love Saskatchewan. And they're like, well, we got our friends here. I'm like, just come down and enjoy life, because for 8 months of the year, I feel like there's no mosquitoes, there's no bugs, and the weather is the same every day. So if you haven't been to Scottsdale, you guys, or Arizona, or I really encourage you to check it out and go to our website. And we're actually giving a travel membership. Like, if you sign up, we used to charge for this membership. So we had over probably 25,000 people sign up in the last 2 weeks since we made it free. So it's just a free membership. So if you're going to Disney World, we give you discounts. We partnered up with one of the biggest membership companies, kind of like these guys that help out AARP or the credit card companies. We partnered with them, and you can save money in hotel rooms. And it's supposed to be guaranteed cheaper than Expedia and all the other websites. But go on there and just sign up for a free membership. It'll at least save some money. And our goal is to help you with the currency exchange, because right now the Canadian dollar. I just won. How much did I win last night? $2,000 at the casino, which is actually 1,300 American when I did the exchange. So I just took it in the
took it right in the took us. That's how it's great.
I like frick. And then the best is I throw the lady some chips to tip her for the drinks, and she charged me. Like, in Vegas, you don't pay for drinks.
What? That's right. Yeah.
And then I was talking to the host, because 200 was the max per bet. I said, all I want is a free Chinese buffet for all the hockey dads. And they thought I was crazy. I'm like, look how much I'm betting. Look at this. I'm going to take the house out. And they just, but anyways, I got the business card of the manager. By the time I left, we took a few pictures and shared some war stories. And yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, Rhett knows all about that, the Canadian to U.S. exchange, just on a daily basis.
Hey, well, shop us. Hey, Rhett, just say, hey, Hordy, look at, I saved, what would you move over? A couple million at a time? So you would probably save 20,000. Yeah.
So
a lot of stinger subs in Buffalo, a couple million. Jesus.
If I do that, I'll call you, Hordy, for sure.
I always tell everybody, either you're going to give it to your kids, you might as well enjoy it. So just spend it, because you're just going to enable your kids.
I got a quick one. I know your connection's kind of cropping out a little bit, but I'm kind of bullish on the Coyotes. They had 70 points last year. That's not good. They were 6 from the bottom. Their point total for over-unders you can bet on at Betway, 74.5. I think they're way better than 5 points better than last year. What are they looking like? Because there's some good young kids there.
You know what? I love this coaching staff. I love what Bill Armstrong's doing with the team. He's so devoted, man. These guys are doing analytics. They're bringing in the skills coach. Like, it is amazing. And then I don't know if you guys seen that Cooley goal in Australia. What a cool goal. I think it was probably one of the highlights of the year. So they got a good young group. And it's one of these kind of teams where it's not like really flashy besides the Kellers and, you know, a couple of the other kids, the Coolies. It's just a grinding team that'll wear you out. And if you come to the desert and think you're going to have your rookie party there, you're going to probably leave with a loss.
I'm looking at the website right now, CanadaToUSA.com. Canadians helping Canadians.
Love
it. Great stuff, man. Join our membership. It's free. Save up to 20%. Look at you. Look at you. Making it work. Making it work.
No,
we're going to be in touch.
It's a concept.
Very cool. We're going to let you go. We're going to be in touch, though. Appreciate having you on.
Enjoy Red Deer.
We'll talk to you soon. Yeah, good luck up there.
Cheers. Yeah. Thanks.
You bet. There he is, Darcy Hordichuk, CanadaToUSA.com, his website. And how about that? Some waste management tickets.
We got a guy in Scottsdale, Rhett.
He's donating.
Not that you didn't already have some contacts, but that sounds like one of the best ones out there all of a sudden.
What's that?
He's well connected down there for sure.
Yeah,
I was just saying, yeah, we could put those up for auction, or what are you
Hmm.
guys doing? Meet you there.
What are the dates?
Last time we had tickets to the open there in Phoenix, we kind of didn't.
Yeah. I was a different guy then, though.
Yes.
We were getting up so early. Mornings was the worst. It was the worst. So awesome. Good guy. Good guy. Let's do some Pinder Report, shall we? Is it going to be painful, Ryan, to run through?
It was a bit of pain, but that's all right. That's part of
Jays lose. Flames took it.
At least we expected it. Well, we kind of did with both, I guess. We really expected it with the Flames. With it was the Calgary Heats, right, that went up to Edmonton, I think. Yeah. And by the way, I'm looking at the dates. Feb 8th to 11th. Scottsdale, Arizona, the greatest show on grass, the 2024 Phoenix Open, the 89th year of the tournament, 16th hole stadium.
So
write that down.
You can access to rental properties and tickets. And
no line, no cover.
You can kind of do this show from wherever now, can't you?
Here's your complimentary beverage, sir. I'm going to need 4. Thank you.
What were those dates? February 1?
Imagine how many times
8 to 11
could hit Pinder in the face.
You'd only need to once, guys. You'd only need to once. It would be me 26 times. It's like mosquitoes. What's this?
If you would like to sponsor the barn burner trip to the waste management, contact Jarrod.
If you would like to sponsor Hordichuk punching Pinder, please contact the Wolverine.
Yeah, that's right. Let's do the Pinder Report, a presentation of Village Honda. Huge selection of used vehicles, all makes, all models, all budgets, 70 units on site, more than 70 units on site now. Access to more than 400 more in the dealership group. Village Honda, your one-stop automotive destination in Calgary. They're worth the trip. Northwest Auto Mall, your dealership for life.
We saw the lineup heading to Edmonton yesterday on the program. T's and P's, Dean. It was going to be a tough go for the youngsters playing against a pretty well-stocked Oilers club in their second to last preseason game. Some bad
but
news
really go a chance to really strut their stuff and show Conroy and the boys what it's all about.
All right, AHL defenseman, show us how you shut down McDavid.
That's right. He's likes to go wide, likes to really come in with speed, hit the line with speed, and then cut in. Try and angle him out. Angle him.
To be fair, I feel like the line would be about 10 goals. It was a touchdown to a safety. So it was closer than maybe we'd thought. And at one point it was even tied as the Flames rallied back from 2-0 to 2-2. But this was not close. And there was another injury suddenly mounting, boys. Now, I don't know if this is the guy that was going to make the team and play, but a tough night indeed, states Eric Francis, for Sam Honzek, who left after the first period with an injury. He's day-to-day. That was a loss. The game was a loss that we expected. One game to go. They're probably sending their best to Vancouver tomorrow night, fellas.
I feel for the kid. Regardless, I mean, he's injured. Even going back to junior, he's going to, depending on what it is, going to miss the start of that. But I don't. It's at the. I'm sure the Oilers got some evaluation out of it. Maybe they got to tune up against an AHL-esque roster.
So Connor Brown, if you're ever playing an AHL team this year, here's what we want to do.
I'm sure the fans had a great time.
Score. Okay, good.
I'm sure
one more exhibition game tomorrow night at Van. That's it. That's all. They open the season next Wednesday at home against Winnipeg. Elias Lindholm getting some love in this morning's 32 Thoughts from Elliot Friedman. At least some conversation points. Here's the quote from Ryan Pike from Elliot Friedman. It's possible Elias Lindholm's number is going to be higher than I initially thought, in the $9 million range.
That's because his number on Backlund was so high. They've taken some of that off and given it to Lindholm.
That's right. Yeah.
No, Backlund, you take a deal. We're going to give that to Lindholm. Put it on top.
Isn't it? But I mean, we know we love Elliot, but didn't Elliot this is 2 months ago? Didn't we hear the same thing that when he was talking about Horvat, and then it was going to be more, and it'd probably be north of 9? Isn't this?
What was Horvat? 8.5, 8 3/4? I sort of feel like 8.5 to 9 is your range. If it's over 9, you're like, well, the cap's going up. But again, it's not so much Lindholm's contract; it's the collection of aging contracts that he joins that is more concerning.
Maybe what we need to do is what we did with the Backlund deal. When Elliott threw out, it's going to be 3 years at 5.5, and then our heads blew off. Maybe that's what we need to do. It's going to be north of 9. What? That's atrocious. They can't do that. And then he'll come in at about 7.25.
8 3/4 probably, but yeah. All right.
8.5 for Horvat averages.
Yeah. So it's got to be more than that, but can't be much more than that based on those two guys and what they've done, would be my guess. Next time the Oilers and Flames play. Rhett, you coming to this one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There it is. 25 days at the place where the home team doesn't win, or at least hasn't much in the last half decade. Commonwealth Stadium, friends. That is October 20th. That's this month. This month, guys. Outdoor game.
Correct.
Buckle up, Dino. We're going to get you out of the basement. Or the top floor, where we are. NHL news yesterday. Board of Governor meetings in New York. They went to a fancy hotel.
Nice.
So they didn't talk about much, but the few things they did talk about of interest were these two items. Frank Bomb. It's a Frank Bomb. Expansion.
What?
That doesn't say expansion.
It's not expansion.
Yeah, well, we'll say expansion.
That's the cap.
Jack's a little horny. Jump with the gun there. Listening to Batman, you don't have to squint very hard to see expansion in the not so distant future. Now, we're already at 32 teams. That's the same as the NFL. It's more than Major League Baseball. It's more than the NBA. 32 is a lot. You probably don't want an odd number. So if you're doing expansion, you're probably bringing in 2 teams. The market's floated the usual suspects: Houston, Quebec City, and the not so usual suspects, Salt Lake City, where a billionaire who owns a rink that the Jazz play in, and Atlanta, because, hey, third time's a charm, right?
It's got to work eventually in Atlanta.
I mean, it couldn't be possible that it wouldn't work in Atlanta, right?
I say put 8 teams in Australia, and let's have an Australian division.
We're volunteering to report on that.
Yes.
Today, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Dean's afraid of the spiders, but everything else is going to be great.
So does the success, and obviously I think, I don't know, we're closer to it. We weren't shocked that Seattle was a success.
No.
Vegas is a success, and I think some people, does that give you any pause to say, well, it's worked in Vegas, in Seattle? Maybe Houston can be a roaring success.
I think Houston would be a slam dunk. The rink's in the right part of town. It's a perfect rink for hockey. All the other markets have issues. Quebec City's smaller than you'd like. Atlanta doesn't have a rink built. Seattle or Salt Lake City's rink is not perfect for hockey. It's kind of one of those basketball ones.
That's not the main issue, though, is whether they have a building. Because there's been some teams who have been awarded franchise, or cities awarded franchise, and then the building shows up within 2 or 3 years. It's sustainable long term.
Yeah, I believe it is.
My question, I think it is sustainable, but for a while, do you have the talent to have the teams? Because they have to be able to play.
So there's 60 jobs, right?
I think there is enough talent out there. But if your team, if 2 more, so and 16 make it, so 21 don't. If you're never in the running, if you go 2 decades without having a run at a cup or advancing deep in a play, are people gonna still? Do you know what I mean? Like, as great as Houston is, but if they're never in a playoff picture for 12 years. Well, are they still going?
So 2 items. One, the expansion draft is not what it used to be. We're seeing competitive teams very soon. Second year, Seattle makes the playoffs. First year, Vegas makes the final. And the second, you're right. The more teams you add, the harder it is to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
It used to be like 2/3 of the league got in. Now it's exactly half. You're talking about less than half. But I think the solution is that the NHL is poo-pooing this play-in tournament that people keep pitching. But when you get to more teams, now you have the 8, 9, 10, 11 play-in tournament. And that way it's like, okay, now we have 22 out of 34.
What I was going to say,
to get in.
You have to have more of that baseball scenario where a division and a conference it is a huge deal, and allow something like that, wild card, whatever the hell you want to make it. I think you really have to create a more opportunity. If half your teams aren't there, I think you really risk eventually. Like Buffalo's been a decade already, and that's without add a couple more teams. Like it's just that much harder.
Yeah, I agree.
You got, and it's going to be hard for the old heads and the purists to get over it. But you're right; you're going to have to do something, whether it's a play-in tournament, wild cards, whatever it is. You're just going to have to do it and get over it. If you don't like it to start, it's just how it's going to be. If there's going to be more teams, and you got to do something, adapt.
Why would they do it? Well, they're probably going to ask for $1 billion now. It was 500 for Vegas. It was 650 for Seattle. The Senators just sold for 950. Like, if Ottawa, Canada is worth 950 in a shitty old rink, what's Houston worth? A top 5 TV and population market in the States with a rink that's already great. And a city that I think people forget has a really rich hockey history. AHL teams there for a long time. WHA teams, they won 2 Avco Cups there. The Hows played there. Like, I don't think people realize how many hockey fans there are in Houston, and also how many Canadian transplants with that oil and gas tie to Calgary as well. Like, I think Houston is the easiest one to see it working because there's no issue where all the others, it's like, well, Quebec's a little.
I was going to say, so you're bringing in 2. I think, we don't even have to squint that hard. You can see Houston. All right, Houston, you're in.
Yeah. Now the next one's like, what are we doing here? Do you want another Winnipeg? Do you want another Arizona?
That was my next question: is when are guys going to see that many teams be like, I don't want to go to Winnipeg, even less, but maybe not. It's still NHL and it's still money.
Will we ever get to a point where they'll put another team in Southern Ontario?
I think it would have happened by now if it was going to happen.
There would have to be
there's some wording in the original documents of the league forming that seems to have them with territorial rights. And I think that's idiotic because they've got 3 essentially in Greater New York and 2 in Greater LA. The biggest hockey market in the world is Toronto.
What if you find some Bezos who comes over the top? What's it, $1 million or $1 billion? I'll give you $2 billion.
See, and I don't even think that the Leafs, I mean, I know they don't want it, but I think they can. It's not.
They'll still sell out.
It's the Sabres that are going to
100 years
long.
Yeah. Anyway, it's
always
not
Buffalo getting screwed. Hey, Retro.
Always good.
Just always.
It's Buffalo.
Next 5 years, maybe, fellas. Next 5 years.
Other
item, salary cap.
See it, Dean.
We know it's going up. Yeah, it's just missed you, Dean. Sorry.
Enjoy those teams, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna lay one of those Houston Aeros jerseys on your casket.
Yeah, can't wait.
Cap's going up. What's the number? Well, early preliminary projections from Gary. $87 to $88 million. We'll see. That's a lot.
Now?
What are we, 83.5 now? You want to give teams an extra $4.5 million? I think they'll like it. I know Elias Lindholm's agent probably likes it.
They'll spend it.
Rejig this whole system, please.
Yeah, good luck. Tell Gary to get off his hard cap. I'm sure he's keen to do that.
Figure this out so that they can spend more money.
It's coming. IOU's almost paid off. So that was the news from Board of Governors meetings. Now to the miserable bleeping Blue Jays portion of the program. Major League Baseball, wild card week done early. All 4 series 2 game sweeps. No do or die game 3s today. And we have our final 4 set. Let's start with, the image that tells 1,000 words. Who had the best day and the worst day? This guy. There's Jose Barrios, the former Twin. watching his old teammates and old team celebrate after he was yanked with less than 50 pitches in a game where no one hit a ball hard off him, no one got past second base, and no one scored a run while he was on the mound. He preemptive decision to lift him, immediately produced 2 runs for the team that won, only needing 2 runs. It was not the reason they lost the series, but that doesn't make it any less idiotic, Dean. Here's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on the decision. Everyone was surprised. Whit Merrifield, you've played lots of baseball. What did you think? I hated it, frankly. It's not what cost us the game, but it's the kind of baseball decisions that are taking away from managers and baseball at this stage of the game. He's hinting there that this is a front office philosophy, not a John Schneider decision. And yeah, it stinks. Not because they lost necessarily, not because it cost them a game, because it didn't, because it makes you wonder how the most powerful people in this organization think about winning. And then, oh, by the way, here's the longest losing streaks in Major League Baseball postseason history. The Twins were the longest. They snapped theirs 2 days ago. And there's the Blue Jays now. 7 losses in a row from 2016 through to yesterday. 7-game losing streak when the stakes are the highest. 6 of those, the Bo, Vladdy, Atkins, Shapiro.
But you got to get in to lose 7 in a row. You know, you get, at least they're making the playoffs and then losing.
They did go from 1993 to 2016 without making the playoffs. This is better than that, but this is frustrating. This is like the San Jose Sharks syndrome, where it's like you get in, you have a good team, and you fail.
So our fans, what's the temperature with
hot
Shapiro and Atkins? And
heads should roll is what the people. I think cooler heads will prevail, but that's the fan base today. Somebody go watch Sid Seixeiro somewhere between weather and traffic on his show. Completely lacerate the front office. Oh,
traffic and weather together
at the
on
ones.
the ones.
Yeah, the ones indeed.
Yeah.
We'll move to what they wasted. What did the Blue Jays waste? Well.
Ryan.
Starting pitching's good, Dean. No one was close in this category. Teams with pitchers that made 31 starts this year. The Blue Jays had 4 guys. Nobody else had 3. 2 teams had 2 guys.
Well, it's because the Jays play so many more games than everybody else.
I mean,
is that what it is?
That doesn't include the wild cards, so no, it's the same scad.
Oh, okay.
Best pitching staff they've had in decades, flushed with not happy about that. It was a worse day for the Tampa Rays, folks. Not just the Blue Jays going home. How about doing it at home and having a 99-win season and having the smallest crowds in 100 years and getting waxed in both of your losses? Rangers get past Tampa. They move on to play Baltimore. This is ugly for Tampa, who was a little dinged up. Not the team that started like 20-0, but yeah. Just got swept in the smallest postseason crowd in more than a century.
But they got the new ballpark coming, right?
In the same location.
Yeah.
Oof. Phillies were celebrating. They won. Weird thing to do before you celebrate. They got past Miami and 2 at home, and also Arizona won. They were the road team. They upset the Brew Crew in Milwaukee. That's this is the vibes in Philly.
Best baseball we played.
Best baseball all year long. All year.
No wheels. Bullpen, you guys are studs.
Go to the field, boys.
Oh, boy. Rock, Atlanta, we got something for them. JT, how many more we got?
We got 11!
Feels better after a win, I'm guessing, eh?
Big tub full of Budweisers. Delicious.
Spraying the bubbly.
It would be fun. I mean, if you were there and one of those guys, I don't know, hey, guys, maybe we shouldn't. Why don't we wait till we win the big one before we party and celebrate? Yeah, you'd be right.
5 parties. Regular season, wild card, DS, CS, series.
Sure.
5 parties.
And Saturdays.
Days that end in Y. It's cocktail hour somewhere. Cheers to Cairo. Okay, here's your bracket. Here's what we're looking at, folks. Keep saying folks today. What the hell am I doing?
You're prim and proper.
Jeez.
You're depressed.
Minnesota at Houston. Okay. Let's hope the Twins get waxed there. Houston's been here before. They win again. The division that is. Texas with a resurgent year. Baltimore, an impressive season. That's going to be a fun series with all kinds of high octane offense.
I don't like their little bird.
The trash bird. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Oriole.
He's got a hat on. He's wearing a hat.
Yeah, no.
Goofy little bird. Looks hammered.
Too many
Diamondbacks will
birds in
visit the
baseball.
Dodgers as the 2 seeds in the National League. The Doyers, very good, boys, because, it's still baseball and they're still the Dodgers. And the Phillies, after all that champagne and beer, they got to go take on the best team in baseball this year so far, the Atlanta Braves.
Too many birds? Is that what you said?
Too many birds.
There's a lot of birds.
Way too many birds.
What about socks?
Too many socks.
Wait, there's plenty of socks too.
We got socks and birds.
You got the dark hose, the pale hose. You got the orange birds, the red birds, the blue birds. It's a lot. A lot of fish
Cardinals.
too. Rays, Marlins. Not enough dads though. San Diego dads. Just one set of dads. Cheer for them. Oh, they missed. Okay.
I'd like to cheer for them, but they tend to F things up too.
Really have. Great ballpark though. Thursday means football and most likely mediocre football. And looking at today's matchup could be very, very mediocre. Or maybe 2 mediocre teams make for 1 great game because we thought we had a good one last week and we didn't. Here's what we're looking at. Bears at Commanders. Your line is 6. Washington's at home. They are favored. Chicago actually looked decent on offense last week, only to lose to Denver. That's awful. They might be the worst team in football, but at least moved the ball on offense. And Washington, bit of a mixed bag. Pumped by the Bills. They've hung in with some better clubs. Second-year quarterback Sam Howell's been just okay. And Justin Fields, I think they've got Bears fans off suicide watch for at least 1 week. 330 yards last week. We'll hear more about that in our Betway bets.
Well, for Howell, when he's not playing the Bills defense and getting picked off, whatever it was, 4 times or
yeah,
he was okay last week. And Goofy Fields, he actually threw the ball okay. Usually he's scrambling and running. It's his rushing yards, but he actually was throwing it okay. The one thing I like there, and I didn't have it in my bets, 44.5. I bet you're right. Bad football equals entertainment. I would take the over on that.
44.5 is basically saying if it was 23-22, you're hitting the over. I like that, Dean. I think these 2 teams can move the ball. I don't think either are that nasty on defense. We'll see tonight. And that'll do it for the Pinder Report, boys. No kicker. Not in the mood today.
You're not, eh? Oh, darn it. For Village Honda, a sad edition of the Pinder Report.
Fire Schneider.
New in-stock inventory on the ground. Start your automotive adventures at Village Honda. Maybe you go to, you know what? I'm in an Accord kind of a mood. Honda Accord. You leave with a Ridgeline. What? Well, how did that? You just never know. It's that automotive adventure. Twists and turns only at Village Honda in the Northwest Auto Mall and online at villagehonda.com. It can happen. You come home. Weren't you getting an Odyssey van? Isn't that what we were doing?
Yeah, these new Ridgelines though, babe. Look at this.
Yeah, but did you see the truck bed? The tailgate opens both ways. Like
2
it comes
gates.
down and it opens, and there's like
Yeah.
a thing in the back.
Double gate.
Come on, babe. Let's do a little this day in Flames history for our friends at McLeod Law. There they are. Call Peter Klein. Get a hold of him. He is the personal injury guy. We know that. Also, the go-to guy in Calgary for your disability insurance claim. If your long-term disability insurance company is refusing to pay insurance benefits to you, you shake your fist and then you send Peter. That's what you do. He will get you those disability benefits that you paid for and that you deserve. Get you that peace of mind that should be yours in the first place. But he will fight for you. He is on your team, as is everybody at McLeod Law. October 5th, 1996.
Feels like opening day type stuff.
So we'll say, well, for the first goal, when's your first goal? Well, if you score your first goal in the National Hockey League, you score in the playoffs, that's pretty good. Playoff goals, that's important. But it doesn't really count as a career goal. And you're right. We've talked about this, Rhett. Why do we not include games played or points or goals when we talk about careers?
Should count for 2. Are you kidding me?
Should throw them all together. This guy had some of both. Let's take a look-see. A very young and spry. Look at this young lad. Look at him.
24.
Look at number 24. It was actually in April of 96, where he scored his first NHL goal, but it was a playoff goal. Jerome McGinley beating Ed Belfour in that playoff series, Game 3.
Sweep. Thanks, Trent Young.
But here it is. The first regular season goal in the career of Jerome McGinley. Millen with the dish, scoring on Kirk McLean. The first of 625 NHL goals.
Look at that baby
Jerome
face.
McGinley.
Looks like an
Look at him.
Did Millen come in that trade too, boys? When Nieuwendyk the other way?
I believe he did, yeah.
Or
did he? I don't remember.
I thought so, but I could be wrong.
He looks like he should be wearing a full cage or a visor there.
It's like, oh, it's take Johnny to work day. Your dad on the team, son? He's letting you wear. That's cute.
Old Jerome, number 24.
First 2 games, games 3 and 4, in round 1 against Chicago. And then bang, scores in his first regular season one. Love it. Points in each of his first 3 games.
That's the kind of trade you want to make.
Yeah.
You know, you get this young player. I don't know if he's going to be first game scores. Oh, okay. Next game, assist. Oh, well, maybe let's see if, but can he do it in the regular season? Scores.
Score.
Okay. Well, all right. Yeah. Seems
if
like
you have to trade a Hall of Famer, that's probably the way to do it, right?
Yeah. Now, what was your recollection? Because you were at the World Juniors with him, right? When that trade went down?
Mm-hmm.
When,
yes, there was. Dude.
If you would like to elaborate in any way about being there and being around him, or
it sounded like you had more to ask. But we were out in Harbor. Where the hell? Harborside? Anyway, we were out east for camp, sitting in a hotel room. It was miserable outside. You're freezing your butt off, and sitting in a hotel room, no cell phones,
right? Of course.
No social media,
no email.
On the hotel, and I remember walking by his room. I just got traded. Went to Calgary. Yeah, must have been mid to obviously around Christmas because we were at the World Juniors.
That's right. So. Yeah, that was one. I mean, so long ago, obviously, but it was one of those deals where I'm guessing if you're a Flames fan, I just remember. Obviously, I was a bit younger then, but it was like that's a good player that Calgary got for that guy. This is a good player. This is a stud.
I don't think that was the mood. Was that the mood? I think the mood was...
I'm just saying from where I was, because again, at that time, knowing what the Blazers were and knowing what he was part of that group, this big, strong, this stud first round picks. Like, oh, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Now, I think my recollection was that, okay, that's risky. You're sending a Hall of Famer for a prospect.
Yes.
But after the World Juniors, everyone's like, oh, okay, I think we got one here. Because it was that sort of, like, to put up numbers in juniors, fine. Doesn't mean anything at the NHL level when you're trading a Hall of Famer.
Well, that,
to see a guy come dominate World Juniors, they're like, oh, okay, I see what they saw now.
And he did.
Yeah, right? Like, and that's what you wanted to see. You're like, okay, this might be a really good deal for both teams. Because Dallas, it felt like a no-lose. You're getting a Hall of Famer. You're in your window to win. You don't need a young guy right now.
The only concern was his attitude.
Was it?
This Iginla kid, heck of a player, but...
Got to rein him in.
It's just like Matty Phillips.
Some personality flaws for sure that we're going to have to work with.
A little too nice.
Yeah. McLeod Law. No matter what it is that you need, if something's come up in your life and you need some legal help, then these are the people that you get a hold of, whatever the case. General firm, they do it all. They want to help you with your goals. They want to help you with your issues. They are on your side. There's no one else you want beside you than McLeod Law. McLeod-law.com. And actually, McLeod Law, talking about partners, we talked about Origin Brewing earlier. McLeod Law continuing to be a great partner of ours. We have a lot of things coming up throughout the fall and into the new year. Kind of an event partner, a sponsorship partner. We're doing a lot with McLeod Law. It's expanding. We're growing our relationship with everybody over at McLeod Law. They're the best. They're oddly enjoying what we do.
Don't let that discourage
Shut
you
up, Jack. Did you hear Jack laughing in the background? Freaking Jack. Yeah, they're interested. They're invested in what we do. It's weird because they're smart. That's the thing, right?
Yeah, they are.
There's some other people. Oh, could we be a sponsor? You're like, yeah, okay, sure. But these are like lawyers. highly intelligent people.
We're going to meet some more of the staff too, I think, Dino, through this.
I know.
Yeah. Introduce you. Because we got Peter Klein in one corner, but they got all kinds of guys that are going to take care of your issues for you.
I know. Kind of gives me hope. Smart people.
Anything that helps you get some sleep.
Isn't that what they say? If you hang around with people that are better than you, it makes you better.
Oh, yeah. You're guilty by association. They might think you're smart. Yeah.
Maybe. But I'm a lot of dead weight for them to be carrying around. Maybe that Boomer, maybe he is. Oh, Jesus. I don't know. I watched that show. And I mean, McLeod Laws, I'm sure they're very good, but this guy's an idiot. Okay. We're going to do some Ask Rhett. Are you ready for it? Ask Rhett was something we started at the old place. Just everybody had questions. Everybody, I wonder what Rhett think. Oh, Rhett, former NHLer, he's on the show. Hey, Rhett, what was your greatest goal you ever scored? What was the highlight of your career? What was it like playing against the... Rhett doesn't like those questions.
No hockey questions was the original rule. And he's kind of got a little more flexible on that, but out of the gate, it was no hockey.
It should have been no hockey questions, and don't ask me what to do in Vegas, because that was...
we got that a lot.
That's right. Yeah, there's a lot of... And you know what, in fairness, there's another kind of a question, but anyway... It's Ask Rhett. You can email your questions in askrhett@flamesnation.ca. That is the email address. We can also do it, and again, we're revving it up here. Bonton Meats is in this year as the sponsor of Ask Rhett. We'll get the hashtag going on X. I guess is that what it is? Hashtag Ask Rhett to get your questions in. But oddly, a lot of them just make it to my phone because people that I know or that we know, they want to ask you questions as well. So some of this might be that. Bonton Meats. Heading into the long weekend, maybe you don't want to do a turkey. Maybe you want to do a nice big prime rib roast.
Don't, if you do, don't question yourself. Go with it.
Do it.
Don't
all the above,
hesitate, guys. Just do it.
If that's what's tickling your fancy, then do it. Get in there, say, hey, Greg, not feeling the turkey this year. What do we do? Okay, here's what you do. Oh, well, how would we... Here's how you prepare it. Here's what you should do. Here's what you should do with it. This is what we do. It's what they do.
What sides, Dean? What side should I
They've
use?
only been doing it since 1921. They know their bleep. Providing high-quality products, high-quality service, treating people like family. That's what it's about at Bonton Meats, 28 Crowfoot Circle, Northwest, and online, bontonmeatmarket.com. Consumer Choice Award winner for Best Deli Meat Market year after year after year after year.
Looks like a beautiful day on Monday as well. Maybe prime rib is...
Now, see, because that's the dilemma I'm in. Are we, am I doing it Sunday? Or am I, because I'm doing turkey. Am I doing turkey Sunday or Monday?
It doesn't matter. I would go with the, I don't know what it looks. I just looked at the weather. I didn't notice Sunday. I looked at Monday and it looks beautiful. Ideally, in a way, I love the turkey dinner on a cooler day. It's I'm not ever disappointed, but it just has a more traditional feel to me.
As someone that works with Dean on Tuesday, can I encourage you to load up on tryptophan or whatever that drug is on Sunday night, not Monday?
Night? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
All right. This is from Sarim. Hey, Rhett. I'm doing a few weeks of med school rotations in Miami right now.
What?
Do you have any good recommendations in Miami other than the whale's rib, of course?
The Forge. The Forge was a huge hit when we used to hang out down there. Now, I have not hung out in Miami for many years, but I do believe still operating, one of the biggest wine cellars in, I think, all of North America. Go treat yourself. Unbelievable meal. Sit at the bar and just watch the walk by.
Good people watching.
Good people.
Now, what's the place that has the video cameras rolling like 24/7 that you can go online and see?
Elbow Room. Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
It's, I think they updated the camera. 96 was the first time I noticed it.
That's dangerous.
High def. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow. This place is, yeah. You're right off, was it South Beach there? Man.
Anywho, that's what I'd do. If I was a
there you go.
Student.
That's right. Doing some work down there. Definitely
a lot
going to
of
do
debt,
that.
but he's going to make a lot of money down the road.
Yeah. All right. We'll lean into it. It is Thanksgiving. what is the most important part? Now, because some people ask, what's your favorite or what is the most important part of Thanksgiving dinner? I feel like it's got to be the protein, right?
No.
Okay.
No. Listen, you go to Greg's and you're going to get taken care of, because we just said the protein, you can do prime rib. You could do ribs. I made Greek ribs last night. Phenomenal. Like just
ham, turkey.
Right? Hams, turkeys. Go to Greg at Bonton. Get taken care of with your protein. Do not half-ass your gravy or your stuffing if you're doing the bird. Clearly that's... So maybe you're right. Sorry, I'm assuming traditional meal of turkey. So maybe if you're going turkey, but then you got to have good gravy. The things that don't matter, effing vegetables.
Okay, see, because that's where I was going to go. It's what can you do?
A lot of thought that goes into these stupid sweet potatoes and the marshmallow and the melting and if you waste in plate space with that bullshit, just don't text us. Just don't. You're not part of this conversation.
I mean, subscribe and like and tell your friends, but don't text.
But don't bother me with your
So right. if you were making a traditional turkey Thanksgiving dinner, what's your veg? If you were to make,
I would only make peas and corn because it's easy, and like I said, nobody cares. And my youngest likes to mix his peas and corn and turkey and gravy and mashed potatoes all together. So done.
I limp in with just some boiled carrots. That's it. I'm gonna peel a carrot, chop it up, boil it. Now the potatoes.
I count as veg or no?
I want good mashed potatoes. They better have enough butter and salt.
Farmer's market today took DUG, went and got some high quality milk and cream. Went and got potatoes from the farm. I'm setting the table here. Like I'm making my list and checking it off. Getting ready.
Attaboy. You got to have cream.
Oh, yes. It's
a good point you make out of the gate, Rhett. Like you can have a wonderful turkey, but if the gravy sucks, the stuffing sucks, and your mash is no good, like what have you done?
Without the gravy on it, right? There's the odd weirdo that does it, but we don't like. They're the goofy uncle that only invite because he got no friends, and would be sitting on his couch by himself. But no, you're having gravy on your turkey.
I was going to do the
I
was going to do the gravy tomorrow on the show.
Oh my God.
I bought all the ingredients. I have it all ready to go, but I think we have to go and do a show somewhere else tomorrow.
Oh yeah. You know what?
Or Pinder, you could go and I'll be in my kitchen making the gravy. You can go and do the remote show.
I thought Fridays were days off.
If you're keen to do it, I'm not going to stop you, Dino. I missed the last Boom's Kitchen episode, so I am excited to
That's right.
Be in the next one.
I got the herbs, spices.
I'm into it if you're into it.
We'll discuss. This is Ask Rhett. It's not about me. It's not about me. Now, the stuffing in the bird or out of the bird?
I like in the bird. Way easier out of the bird, more controlled. You don't have to worry about not getting cooked enough, blah, blah, blah. It's better when it comes out of the bird. It just is. It just is.
It's true.
You can't debate me on it.
Pinder, where are you on stuffing?
Love it if it's done right. Love it. Like
it's another one of those things. The more you put, not the more ingredients, but the more thought and effort you put into the stuffing, the better it's going to be.
A half-ass stuffing, and you've lost me. It's like bad gravy. Like,
and it's another vehicle to get gravy in you.
Yeah. It really sops it up.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
My move is the mashed potato reservoir. So pull that thing out, fill it right up with gravy on top of the turkey and on stuffing.
God, I'm starving right now.
It's really just an excuse to hammer gravy. That's all.
And a buttered bun that you dip into the gravy.
That's right, into the reservoir.
I'm gonna make buns too.
Yeah, making them.
Because here's the thing with the turkey: you can take that sucker out, and the heat it's gonna carry. It's gonna stay warm in there. Don't worry about it. And even if the bird, if the meat gets a little bit chilled, if that gravy's hot enough,
oh yeah,
you're good.
Yeah.
you're good. Let that bird sit for a while. Don't carve right into it and then all the juices go running out. Don't be stupid.
Listen to Dane here.
People are
Be an idiot.
go buy a lovely bird from Bonton, and then you
Get some goddamn tin foil and tent that son of a bitch and let it sit for a while. Oh, is the bird out of the oven? If you're having to do this, if you're burning your fingers cutting your turkey, make me come over there.
Lost the plot.
Slap the shit right out of you.
and I'll steal your grave.
Okay, this one is it was just a one word. Cranberries? So I'm guessing it's to you two. Cranberries?
The older I get, the more accepted I am towards the cranberry, but never in my life have I had a wonderful bird dinner. I'll just call it, because you can do it at Christmas, Easter, right? Yeah. A bird stuffing gravy dinner, and felt the need to reach for the cranberries. Never once. And even if they're there and they're good, like my mother-in-law puts effort into the cranberries, what for?
My problem with the cranberries, and I'm not here to judge. It's fine. I actually kind of like preparing them. It's just more to make. It's fun. But you get them on your plate, and then they, it starts to. Now it's in your gravy. Now it's in your mashed potatoes. Now it's in your other stuff.
Red potatoes? Nah, get out.
Don't need it.
Honestly, they float and punch, and they could be decoration on the table. That's it.
Yeah.
I like that answer at all.
Where are we here? This is thought this meant salad, but no, I'm guessing what they mean is the drink. The Caesar, overrated?
No. Now, again, another thing, done correctly, one of the finest drinks you'll ever have.
I look at Pinder. Now we're in Pinder's wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Watch your mouth.
I think that was, I hope that was a sarcastic, trying to rile us up kind of.
Poking the bear with that.
Yeah.
You know how you have proud moments as a dad?
Yeah.
Or some people, and I guess some people.
I never have,
pride.
but I hope that happens.
Well, my dad's had one, but okay.
I know. Last week was out with the kid before his trip, and we were having some wings or whatever, just going to. I was like, she's like, "Oh, do you want to?" He's going to get a beer. And I said, "You know what? I'll have a Caesar." He goes, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'll have a Caesar." Then he had the Caesars. Like, "Oh man, I like Caesars."
Okay,
that's right, son.
Beautiful. Goddamn, got me there.
Proud moment. And the two more to go.
Okay.
Is it okay to get Costco liquor and not name brand? Because there's what is it, Kirkland, right?
I'll let Rhett weigh in. I have a thought here.
It is more of an Ask Pinder question, to be fair, but
I feel like I've read that the Kirkland brand and the Costco liquor is very highly rated.
I know the vodka specifically. You hear, it's the same place that makes the
Goose or
something. Tequila that's good. You got a vodka that's good.
Ryan,
we're not talking about dad jeans here, guys. This is good stuff.
Now I know you're not a Costco guy.
Well, we're a Costco family. Don't worry about it.
Are you really?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Costco liquor, or
if we're having a big party, a big event, and you're mixing drinks, that is the move. Like if we're heading out to the cabin in the summer, it's like, yeah, go get one of those torso-sized things of Kirkland vodka. Let's go.
The DUG, I don't know if they've opened them yet in Saskatchewan at the Costco where you can get the booze there, but he would always come over and buy 2 boxes of booze from Costco.
Yeah. How big?
We gotta stop at Costco. Gotta get some booze.
Yeah. Our parents.
And my mom's here, and I'm gonna make her make buns.
Are you? Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. And the last one, and I think I know how this is. I'm curious how it'll go though. Hey, Rhett, is it okay to have dip for your chips while on a road trip?
Like in the car?
Yeah, I'm guessing that's
What the hell difference does it make?
Is dip
Dip together always.
So you'd
But
let your
so if you're
teenage
driving-
Lugans in the back?
or if you're driving, are you doing the whole
Absolutely.
Multitasking.
What are you talking about?
What are you
Like-
talking about?
Absolutely. I've spilled more dip while driving than I get
The man did have a booger shaft in his car. He's not afraid of a little
Like,
dip. Yeah.
It's like getting a hot burger and you're gonna wait till you stop. No, you're gonna have it all over, and it's just the thing about the dip too is I get so excited about it that I can't slow down. Like
No.
your fingers are all groupy and gross from the
Yeah,
bite.
yeah.
Keep going. It's gonna happen again. Keep
Steering
going.
wheels all doctored up and
Then
greasy.
then you do the ring around to get the edges that you can't. Oh yeah.
You know, it'd be great. You'd be following Warner on the highway. It's like, look at this guy's drunk. Look at this asshole. He's on his phone. He's probably texting. Look, and he's driving all over the place.
And I'm like this on the edge of the wheel.
Got the big thing in dip.
He's licking the sour cream and onion right out of the jar.
That's
Attaboy.
how you do it.
Don't be
That,
afraid of buying the flavored chips to go with the dip.
That's right. Like the dill pickle in the dill pickle dip, or the cheese, the au gratin into the onion.
You know what?
Yeah,
The French onion and the cheese are good.
yeah, it's good, buddy. I am starving. This is, you know what
That's
this
the
is?
wrong segment for
This is
the
a
big
throwback show
breakfast.
today. This has been a good throwback today. Ask Rhett is brought to you by Bon Ton Meat Market. It couldn't have been better. We're right in front of the long weekend.
Perfect.
And
timing.
truly, whatever it is, if you need the turkey, if you want some beef, you want some recommendations, you want ideas on how to prepare it, you want to do something a little bit different, this is their wheelhouse. It's the only place to go. AAA Alberta beef, free-range poultry, grain-fed Alberta lamb, veal, pork. It is the very best. 28 Crowfoot Circle in the Northwest. Go and say hi to Greg and his staff. And as we say, highly recommend the potato salad.
You heard it on Barn Burner.
Highly recommend. I'm going to have to go eat. I am dying here.
Yeah, we got to hustle here.
Yeah, I am dying.
Dying.
All right,
What do we, let's do some Betway bets. Betway, our buddies at Betway, the official gaming partner of Barn Burner here on Flames Nation and flamesnation.ca. We have a football game tonight. I was going to put a couple of bets together, and oddly, the two that I wanted were really not paying. I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, it's the worst run defense in the National Football League, the Chicago Bears. Brian Robinson.
There was a third stringer for Denver that had a day last week. That's how bad Chicago's run D is.
Yeah. Brian Robinson has had a good year for the Commanders. And I went to the rushing props, and they had him at about 50 some odd. The over-under was 56, I think. And I feel like he's definitely going to get more than 56, but it didn't pay a whole lot. So I went to there's some pre-built bets. So Robinson, 70+ rushing yards and a touchdown.
Oh,
plus 200. And I was going to do both of them anyway. Let's cobble them together and get a plus 200. Love the action there. Love this
don't
bet.
want that at all. Yeah. Not bad for a guy that got shot at the beginning of his rookie season last year.
It happens.
He's been nails since he's
You
healthy.
know,
Wasn't his fault.
wasn't his fault. Didn't shoot
His
himself.
fault?
Plaxico
No.
Burris.
No.
Careful.
Plaxico shot himself, right?
Isn't that right,
In the
Jack?
bar with the sweatpants.
We go
Shot
to
himself
Jack
in the
Cam?
leg.
Steeler Plaxico Burris did or did not shoot himself.
I think he was a Giant at the time, maybe.
Yeah, I don't even know if I was born then.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
It's a
Oh,
disappointing
for
trip to
God.
the
You
Jack
know
Cam.
what?
Jesus Christ. Shut up, Jack. It's my Betway bets of the day.
I'm going football too, Dino. I'm also focused on the Thursday nighter. Let's attack some props. Justin Fields over 330 yards passing. The over-under is 191. Huh? Hasn't been great weeks 1 and 2, but if there's any sort of progress we can take from last week, he's hitting 200 yards passing. Minus 110 there. And I like Jahan Dotson. Not just because he's on my miserable fantasy team, but 42 receiving yards. He can get that in one catch if they stretch the field a little. Sam Howell, don't be afraid. Throw this thing down the field. It's the Bears. They suck at defense. Minus 115 there.
Did he roll his ankle last week? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it looks like he's going to play, but yeah.
I think he rolled his ankle, but I do think he came back. He's let you down for sure in your fantasy.
A touchdown last week.
Yeah, I like Dotson. Had a great year last year.
If he's going to break out, they're playing the Bears. Like, look, if it doesn't happen tonight, it's not happening for him.
Go get that Betway app on your phone. Follow along. There's a bunch of, they've got all kinds. They got the props and they got the, the game lines and all that, but they've also got pre-built bets and different ways to get you in there. Get it on your phone and bet the responsible way with Betway.
Also, those divisional series odds for baseball are now out, given that all the wild card series are done. So if you're a bit of a seam head, look into that.
There you go.
Dean, I play you in fantasy.
Oh!
Can I have the
Bet.
What's that?
We trade D.
I like the Bills, D.
You don't like Dallas D? They've had 30 points in
They've
2
been pretty
games.
good. Yeah, they've been pretty good. But I do like the Buffalo D. Who's
They're
Buffalo
only
playing?
favored by what's a small number against Jacksonville? Was it 5? 5.5?
A lot of injuries on D for the Bills. So actually, keep it. You go ahead and keep it.
Well, and Dallas
Not a
is San
lot,
Fran. That's another great game.
What do you mean not a lot? You're so out to date.
Von Miller, he's close to coming back. And yes, Tre'Davious White is done for the year.
Oye, Russo. You don't even know what's going on.
I was worried last week. Am I going to have to go and get another D off of the waiver wire because they're playing Miami? I was, you know what? Nope. Have faith. Have faith in your Bills D, and they balled out.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you play this week, Pinder?
Doesn't matter. I'm 0-4. My team sucks.
No, you know, here's the thing. At the end of the season, there's going to be some other team with 4 losses.
Oh,
You just got to start running the table. You just got to string something together here. You know?
Pinder, give me your best players, and I'll steamroll Dean this week.
Yeah, well, give me Laporta. All I need is Laporta.
Okay.
You got a bone on for tight ends, eh?
I don't have one. I've had like zeros 4 weeks in a row for my tight end. I think I got like almost 2 points last week. I was like, wow, that guy's on bye now. Fuck.
Jonnu Smith, is that who you picked up? Well, Rhett can't because he had the Muth, but now the Muth is hurt.
Muth is faking an injury because he hates Matt Canada and he won't play.
That's right.
I got Steinberg this week. Steinberg changed his name. There's got to be a story there. I don't know.
Steindog.
Yeah, empty bed.
I think Steindog, poor bastard. I think he is had the bad luck of the draw. Most points against.
Oh, bad defense.
I think he's had some decent weeks, but those points against just rattle him.
Tighten up that D-pad. Can't be letting these other teams score that many points against you.
Yep, tighten it up.
Ramondre, do something. Do something. Ugh.
Who do the Patriots play?
Who cares? Patriots.
New Orleans. Good run D.
Not ideal. Well, that's a show.
Yeah.
We got a lot done today.
Do we pump up next Wednesday? Because I do want to remind people, like,
see you next Tuesday.
Best
we did not.
Deal.
You're right. Let's go. Next Wednesday, the Calgary Flames are starting their hockey season in the National Hockey League. Game number 1 of 82, and we are going to be at Greta. We're going to have it on the screens. We're going to be watching. We're going to be playing games. Pinder's going to be shooting hoops on the arcade games, playing some pinball. Pinball. Over at Greta, our place to be. It's our, it's kind of the official watch partner. If there's games to be watched, why wouldn't we go to Greta? Over on 10th, 213 10th Avenue Southwest. They got hot dogs on special. They got some drink specials. We're raising money for kids sport. And there's going to be chances for you to win tickets to a certain outdoor game, an experience.
Wonder what game that could be.
The Nation Outdoor Hockey Experience is going to be played near the end of the month, and you will have chances to win tickets or an experience. I'm not sure which one it is. It's something. There will be some winning done.
Words we can say. I think you know what we're getting at here.
$30 game card, so $20 the game. You get a $30 game card for $20. That is some boomer math.
So I'm telling you, man, Greta's losing money on this thing. Love the guys. Feel sorry for them.
Hey guys, I got an idea. Let's charge $20 to get in, and we'll give them $30
to charity, and then we'll
make it. Yeah, we'll make a bunch of money. Yeah, kids sport. I don't know how.
Did you see that Always Sunny in Philadelphia one where they tried to figure out is a lot of boomer math? I feel like that's what's happening here.
GretaBar.com/events for details. Go to nationgear.ca. Along the top, you'll see the events drop down. In there, you'll see parties. And then in there, you can buy your tickets to join us at Greta next week. Looking forward to it. That'll do it. Not sure what it's going to be tomorrow.
Friday.
Maybe a live on location. Maybe somebody in his kitchen.
Maybe both.
I might be in a parking lot.
Parking lot. It's a parking lot party.
Like McLennan yesterday outside a casino tomorrow, maybe. Rhett?
Could be. Yeah, could be. But we appreciate you. Like and subscribe. Go to our YouTube. Subscribe to that sucker. The more subscribers, the easier things get. The more partners we get. We get guys like Origin and Greta, Blue Cross. We're getting
McLeod Law.
everybody together. Come on. Let's do this thing. That's right. We appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow, buddies.
Oilers suck.